How's it going, amazing people of YouTube? TJ with Tech Paradise here with my full review of the Nintendo Switch. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since Nintendo launched the Switch, so I know it's taken me a little bit longer than maybe other YouTubers took to get my review out, but I assure you it's worth it because I want to make sure that I got plenty of hands-on time with this thing before I actually gave you my thoughts on it. Now that I've done so, I think we can jump right in and talk a little bit about it and give you some honesty that if you haven't made the jump to buy this yet, I will hopefully give you some ideas as to whether or not you should do so right now, or maybe wait until later this year, or whenever down the road. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. So starting off with the physical design, I think that's important to start with. If you've been living under a rock and haven't seen the Switch at all, this is what it looks like. It has a nice, sleek design that is made out of plastic material, including the plastic display. This is not a glass display, it is plastic, so you do want to make sure you have a screen protector on this, which I know, tisk, I do not have one right now. I'm buying one in the very near future though. I do not have a screen protector on it right now, but you really should from the start though, because it is plastic, and there has been cases of the dock scratching the display, or at least some users are reporting that. So you do want to play it safe and get the screen protector. I can't emphasize that enough. So as you can see though, it kind of reminds you of like maybe a thicker Android tablet with two detachable controllers on the sides. That might be a little bit oversimplifying it, but that's really in a nutshell what the design concept reminds you of. You can see here on the top you do have your power buttons, your volume rocker, your vent, your game card slot right here, and of course that is also the only way that you're going to be able to have physical media in this thing. There's no optical drive, obviously, unlike the Wii U that did have one. Now, in case you're wondering, where do you put the micro SD card? That you can have up to a 2 terabyte micro SD card in this thing, which is awesome. But you put it right in here under the kickstand. Now, the one criticism for this physical design that I have is the kickstand. It's really difficult to get open. You have to really get your finger under there just right, and it is a pain right in the neck to open. So my suggestion is simply not doing it too often. But all kidding aside though, you do have to have it open. Once you get it open, I'm not going to try doing it right now, it's just too difficult the way I have the camera. But underneath the kickstand you do have your micro SD card slot. So if you do accidentally pop the kickstand off, it is easy to pop right back on, and so far there's no evidence that doing so weakens the kickstand, which is always a good thing as well. Now, I do want to bring your attention to these two buttons up on the top here of each Joy-Con. This is the release button. You press these down when you go to take the Joy-Cons off, and that is how you do it. It's so simple to do. I'll actually do it for you guys right now. So again, you just kind of hold it like this, and then you just slide off. And again, for the other side, you just, very simple. And I think it's actually kind of cool to show you the console itself without the Joy-Cons connected. It's neat. I mean, it really is. It feels really good in the hands. Of course, obviously, most of the time you'll have the Joy-Cons connected, but even with them connected, it feels very good in the hands in terms of the build quality. It doesn't feel cheap. So that, I think I'll leave the design and the physical side of things at that. It really just feels like a solid product. Moving on to something that I think is most notable, besides the games, which we'll get to in a second, but most notable is the change in the UI, or user experience. Wow, is this different. I'm sure a lot of you have the Wii U or still have the Wii U, and you know how much of a disaster the UI of the Wii U was. Now, luckily, Nintendo did not make that mistake twice. They went from total opposites from the Wii U to the Switch. The UI, the menu systems of the Switch is just so simplistic, so fast. Getting from menu back to the home screen is instantaneous. That's just something you simply did not have with the Wii U. Now, you might ask, well, why is this important? It is important because when it comes to something mobile like this, you're not always going to be inside a game 24/7. You might need to do something else, like check out the eShop, check out your screenshots, which we'll do right here. You can check out my screenshots like this, and you can do all this instantaneously. Like I said, just so it really is such a polar opposite of what we saw with the Wii U. Now let's check out the eShop for a second, since we're doing that. And no, I don't mind that you guys saw the my username. Okay, why are we not connecting to the server? I don't get that, but okay. But yes, please feel free to add me on my Nintendo ID. It is TVolt90, and as I'm saying that, I just remembered that you have to use the friend ID, so I'm not sure if I want to do that right now, but in the future you guys can add me once Nintendo does do that feature. So then, this is new to the Nintendo Switch. There is the Nintendo News, as they are calling it. Basically just updates you on game releases, kind of gives you some videos, trailers for games, things of that nature. System updates will be shown in here, stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and reconnect the Joy-Cons, just to give you an idea of what that's like. Again, very simple. Now, it's a little bit more complicated for me right now because I don't have good hand coordination as it is, and I'm literally leaning over my camera to do this. So, I'm trying to do this with one hand, but not one hand, two hands, but leaning over that I can do it. Very simple. Just line it up with the side, and it makes a very satisfying clicking sound. I may have done that a little bit hard. You don't have to do it that dramatically hard like I did. But again, you just go line it up with the side, and it makes that satisfying click sound. And whoops. Okay, so now that I've taken you through a little bit of what you can expect from the UI and the physical design, of course, let's talk a little bit about. Actually, I do want to jump back to the physical side of things to talk about the Joy-Cons. Now, the Joy-Cons I have found in my gameplay are comfortable. They have good tactile feedback, meaning, there's good travel of the keys. The analog sticks feel fine. There's nothing really, no major complaints I can think of. The one thing I will say is they are not as precise as something like this, which I will show you quickly, but I'll talk about in a few minutes, which is the Switch Pro controller. Let me just put this simply. If you plan on doing any kind of serious gaming with the Switch, especially in TV mode, you will want to invest in this controller. Yes, the controller might leave. The price of the controller might leave a bad taste in your mouth. It's $70, but let me tell you this, guys. It is well worth every penny. And actually, I don't think $70 is really that bad. When you consider that the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controllers are around that price as well. And what really is nice about this one is that Nintendo has designed it so well, and of course it charges right here via USB-C, which is really nice because that just means that there's no batteries to charge, unlike the Xbox controller, which still takes batteries for some reason. This is really great. So you just plug it in using the included USB-C cable, which of course can also be used to charge the console itself. So this is really nice that Nintendo included this as a Pro Controller. But we'll get back to that in a second. But I really do just want to finish my thoughts on the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons feel great in the hand. When they are disconnected, they're a bit small, so people with bigger hands might not have as pleasant of an experience using them. But again, that ties back into my points on the Pro Controller. So, the example, Zelda. Playing Zelda, where precision can be so crucial, especially when you're battling any of the various bosses or things of that nature, you're going to want precision. And for precision, for precise gameplay experience, the Pro Controller is the way to go. And you'll see, I only have a few games on here, but these few games actually keep me very satisfied and keep me very busy. Fast RNX is a great futuristic racing game. It's funny because people keep saying about Zelda how it doesn't hold your hand. I think the same applies to Fast RNX. It is one of the more, in my view, one of the more challenging racing games I've played. Especially for something like this, for the Switch. You know, it's surprisingly difficult. More so than I thought it would be. Of course, you probably have seen plenty of videos on Zelda. It's a beautifully immersive, fun game. If you're new to the Zelda franchise, check it out anyway. It's a great game. Once you learn the mechanics of the gameplay, you will really appreciate the effort that the Nintendo developers put into Zelda. Shovel Knight is an indie game by a company called Yacht Club, and it's actually a really fun game. It's 8-bit, so it kind of it makes you feel like you're playing something retro, but it's really not retro. It's just a fun, pretty, I guess you could say it kind of kills time, 8-bit game. And Snipperclips is something that I played once or twice with a couple of friends. It's, you know, some YouTubers have had different thoughts on this. I really didn't get into Snipperclips that much. It's a puzzle game. Again, it takes 2 players, and it's kind of fun, but nothing that I would really, I wouldn't play it again. I don't know why I haven't deleted it yet, but nothing that I really recommend for myself personally, at least. But yes, definitely Zelda is a must-have. I don't think anyone would disagree with me on that. You gotta have Zelda if you like this at all. You won't regret it. With that being said, so going back to some general thoughts on this before I end this video. Actually, I'm not ending it yet, but before I end my little thoughts on the Switch. So, overall, this is a huge step in the right direction. Is it perfect? No. Reasons why it's not perfect. For one, plastic display. I understand the logic that Nintendo used. Nintendo expects children to play this a lot. Now, if a child drops this and it had a glass display, obviously it can shatter and injure the child. I understand that. But the trade-off with the plastic display is it's much more easily scratched, and I think it isn't as nice and pleasant as a viewing experience as if you had a glass display, especially since it's 720p, and that leads into my next thought. If there is a Switch 2, I'd like to see a 1080p display. I think that would just really enhance things even further. With that being said, though, I don't think the 720p display is anything to complain about too much. I think it looks just as great as it is. I think the Joy-Cons are great. I really have no thoughts on how those could be improved. Should you buy the Switch right now? Yes, if you have any interest at all, and I mean even just a kind of maybe interest in Zelda, even if you're not sure, try it. If you already are familiar with the Zelda franchise, then obviously, yes. I would try to get the Switch as soon as you can, if you didn't get it on launch day like I did and many others did, because really this is such a fun console, guys. The fact that it goes back to the fact that it is a mobile handheld as well as a home console. It is such a fun concept, and I can't stress that enough. At $299, it starts at $299, but once you start adding up the accessories and the games, you will easily, like I did, you'll probably easily spend over $500. So as long as you're okay with that in your mind, then I think it's worth it. Now, a couple of accessories that I highly recommend. I already talked about the Pro Controller, but I just want to mention it one more time. It feels great, the buttons feel so, the feedback is really comfortable, even more so than the Joy-Cons, which is to be expected, I'm sure. It has a nice weight to it, it feels good in the hands, and actually you can see right there it's controlling it as we speak. It's just really great. I mean, there's really not a ton to say about it. It's a great controller, and it's well worth the $70. So we'll put that to the side for now. And what else do I have over here? Of course, I mentioned. Whoa, I'm throwing stuff now. I mentioned Zelda. You gotta pick up Zelda if you don't. If you buy the Switch, you gotta have Zelda because, like I said, you won't regret it. Awesome game. And I picked up this. It's a little bit dusty, but this Nintendo Switch carrying case. Highly recommend you get something like this. There's other cases. I got this. I actually pre-ordered this back when the Switch was first available for pre-order. So I actually didn't get a chance to look at other cases. Well, I didn't have a chance, but I did look at other cases. They do have a Legend of Zelda case. They have some Mario themed cases now. But this is just a plain Nintendo Switch case, but it does the job. And of course, inside it has a little slot where I can keep up to 5 game cards, which is nice for traveling, of course, which I do need to have. So that's good. And of course, this actually comes with the console. I did want to mention this as well. And again, I'm dropping stuff over here. Oh my goodness. The Joy-Con grip is, now it's all dusty, that's okay. It's just a little thing that you can slide the Joy-Cons into, and what that does is it kind of gives you the feel of a traditional controller. However, I found at the end of the day, I still knew that I was using the Joy-Cons, and again, it's great that playing on the go, like you're playing it in handheld mode or something, but when you're playing on the TV, you just, I shouldn't say you, but in my view, I like to have the feel of a traditional controller when I'm in TV mode. But when I'm on handheld mode, the Joy-Cons are fine. But this thing just didn't give me that real controller feel that I like to have. But it's close. It is close. And it's nice that Nintendo tosses this in. Now, here's another interesting thing, too, is you can buy something very similar to this that Nintendo sells as an additional accessory. And for $30, you can buy one of these that has a micro USB slot on it. I'm sorry, a USB-C slot on it. And you can actually connect it. It does not charge the Joy-Cons by itself, but you can plug the Joy-Cons into it and then plug it into a USB-C cable into a wall adapter. So there was some confusion about that. So just to be clear, the charging grip version of this thing still doesn't charge the controller by itself. You have to still plug it into a wall adapter and charge it that way. So that's one thing. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys watching all 20 minutes of this video. I know this is probably one of the longest videos I've done in quite a while, but I really wanted to do this in-depth review of the Switch. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please, if you enjoyed my content, go ahead and subscribe to my videos by hitting that subscribe button below. But until next time, I will see you guys soon, and I wish you all the best of luck getting your hands on a Switch if you haven't done so yet. Peace out for now.